Buenos días, muchas gracias por venir a esta plática. La doctora Gordana Dodig Crnkovic va a dar una plática sobre la modelación de la vida como una actividad info-computacional. La doctora Crnkovic es profesora en la Escuela de Diseño, Computación y Innovación de la Universidad de UNAM en Suecia. Pues creo que no pienso agregar nada más, entonces, Gordana, si quieres, you want to start now?
Thank you very much, Francisco. So I'm very glad to be here. I met some people from this university long ago. First I met Francisco, and then in 2005, when I organized the European Computing and Philosophy Conference at my university, now in Sweden. And then I met Hector Sen, who is also a student from this university, and some other authors which originate from this university. So I'm very glad to see where all those people come from. This is where I come from. Close to Stockholm, and that's the travel I made to see you here. And this is another map, and here you can see my university on the map of Sweden. It's quite close. It's 120 kilometers from Stockholm. And it looks like this. It's a very nice place. So, to tell you about my background, so that you understand what you can expect from me. My research is in computing paradigms, computational knowledge generation, computational aspects of intelligence and cognition, theory of science, philosophy of science, information science, computing and philosophy, and ethics. And you can find more about my work at my webpage. So on the first page here, there is my email address. So if you write down in Google my name, you'll find this address, and under this address you'll find everything. My courses with course materials, my research articles, everything online. So teaching is in research methods in natural sciences and engineering, computing and philosophy, computational thinking and writing protocols, and formal languages, automata, and theory of computation. And I have also a course in professional ethics. Okay, now to the topic. It is information, computation, commission, agency-based hierarchies of levels. So in this lecture I will present a common framework for modeling of those three concepts: information, computation, and cognition, from the perspective of an agent. And an agent can be anything from a molecule or even smaller physical object to human or even human groups and societies and ecologies. So, as I indicated here, I will tell you that those three things are interconnected: information, computation, and cognition, and I will tell you how. You see this beautiful picture? It is fruit fly brain with neurons. And this is the fruit fly larva and fruit fly brain micrograph. So instead of starting with human being and thinking about our human intelligence and human abilities, I start with the simplest possible organisms and try to learn something about cognition from the very basic level. And you know, anything in biology or nothing in biology makes sense except in the light of evolution. So if we want to understand cognition as a biological phenomenon, and I will tell you, my view is from naturalist perspective. So this is pure naturalism. And cognition is seen from the perspective of biology. And if we want to understand cognition as a phenomenon, as a biological phenomenon, we must understand how this developed from the simplest forms of life to the most complex ones. And you know which animal has the smallest brain? This is the wasp. This wasp is smaller than an amoeba, which is one-cell organism, smallest than a mycelium. So you can see it is 200 micrometers and has the whole body, brain, nervous system, everything. It's fascinating. So in order to understand how different kinds of organisms on different scales understand their environment or cope with their environment, we shall study from the beginnings up. This is what people are doing on the level of human brain. That's a very high level. And you can see there is a project which is Human Connection, which studies all the connections in human brain in different ways. So we can see which parts of the brain connect to the others. And here is from the article from Henry Markham. Have you heard of Henry Markham? He is a person who leads the hugest European project, scientific project, which is called flagship project on human brain. And here is from his article from Nature, where he describes the brain on different levels of organization. So he starts with molecular level, to cell level, to neural circuits, to regions in the brain, and the whole brain model. So in order to really understand better what's happening, maybe those here are interfering with this. Maybe you can hear without this. So if you really want to understand all the levels of functioning of a human brain, you should start with molecular level and understand all the way bottom up how we get functions in the brain. Do you hear me? Is that yes? Without this. Okay. So I will point out that hierarchy of levels is very important in understanding of how many phenomena appear in nature. So philosophers very often intend to take only one level of reality and focus on this one level. But actually, if you look at natural phenomena, all of them start from very basic level and then develop into several different levels of organization. So this will be the short summary of my argument. The first basis that I have is that I use information as a structure which consists of differences in one system that cause the differences in another system. I will explain. So information is a structure of nature, or structure which an agent observes, making differences in the world. And you will see how. Computation is information processing or information dynamics. So when things are changing in structures, that is computation. Both information and computation appear on many different levels of organization. Abstraction, resolution, or granularity of matter, energy, and space-time. And of all agents, we can think, I mentioned molecules, but of all agents, only living agents have the ability to actively make choices, so to increase the probability of their own continuing existence. Others, like molecules, which can act on physical laws, they do not have this possibility to make choices in that.